What's going on, YouTube, man? So in this video, I'm gonna talk about having bad commands. And if you're not military, a command is pretty much a place of business where you work, where you frequent often, right? To get your paycheck, pretty much. It's like a job, or it could be school or something like that. But how you deal with an environment that's not good for you, like mentally or physically. Like I've definitely been in an environment where I felt like I wasn't growing. I felt like people were putting me down every single day. And I'm gonna tell you how I dealt with that. Let's get into the video. Background on this, man, like me, I was already good where I was at. So like my first duty station, I was on a ship and I was already good there. But when I switched over to a squadron, my mentality was still like a person on the ship. Like it wasn't the same mentality that squadron people have. And squadrons are the people that they go out on different types of deployment, different types of detachments, where they're flying these jets, or they like working on different types of equipment and stuff like that. But they are a mobile unit. I had a good command, but the shop was bad, right? So the shop I would go into, the people that I worked with on a daily basis, I could not figure out if they had my best interest at heart. Like it was very hard for me to trust people, very hard for me to like say, okay, man, I'll listen to what you got to say, because like every single time they told me to do something, I would do it and then I'd get in trouble for it, and then they'd be like, why did he do that, or something like that. And then like while I'm in trouble, like doing my punishment or whatever, I'm thinking like, man, this person just told me to do this. Like, why are they punishing me for this? So I'll tell you a stick out moment that happened with me. I got in trouble on the ship or something like that. Now, I was arguing with somebody who's the same rank as me. So likely when you argue with somebody who's the same rank as you two are supposed to figure it out without anybody getting any type of repercussions. That wasn't the case for me. Like for me, it was more of a counseling session of the person I was arguing with yelling at me. The chief was yelling at me. The other first class was yelling at me. First class is an E6, if y'all don't know the ranks, or E6 is kind of like one below an E7. That's a chief petty officer in the Navy. So we're all first class petty officers. It was 3 in the room. One was getting yelled at. That was me. An E7 was yelling at me, and then a CWO, a chief warrant officer, was yelling at me. And so like everybody in this room, I felt like they were supposed to be helping me transition between a ship and a squadron. They weren't doing that, and so I felt very alienated. Now keep in mind, the alienation, that's a buildup. Like you always doing the harder jobs, you're always picking up lifting stuff. Nobody's really teaching you what you need to get to the next level. And I was always a forward thinker. I still am a forward thinker. I'm thinking about, okay, what steps do I need to do to get to where I want to be? And at that time, I felt like I was not getting what I needed. So how did I deal with that, man? So me personally, I seek mentorship throughout the command. Like there was nobody in my shop that I felt like I could talk to on some real talk. I had to go out and find other people that I could talk to, whether that been different commands, or that been different shops, or that been different chiefs, different officers, whoever, man, whoever I felt like they could add value into what I'm going through. I went and talked to them. And that ultimately led me away from that command. Like I literally switched jobs because of that. It was just like, as soon as I was able to leave, I left. I felt like I wasn't gonna grow there. I felt like, you know, I was already outgrowing the space that I was in. And it turned out to be the right call ultimately. But when you in a situation where you feel like everybody's against you, it's like a clubhouse and you just don't fit in the club. Like I suggest you find ways to stick it out, right? You have to take care of your mental. You got to take care of your physical. And then at the same time, find ways to get out. Don't just sit there and complain. In my case, I wanted to be an officer, right? So I made sure I was trying to do everything possible to make sure that I'm able to be an officer. So I was going to school at the same time, dealing with these people. I was trying, and they would, you know, people would poke fun at you, like, why are you trying to do this, or why are you trying to do that? Like, you need to be learning this, or you need to be learning that. But if you have a clear goal in your mind of where you want to get to, it's a lot easier for you to stay on that path, because people will tell you anything. They'll tell you you can't do it because they couldn't do it. So keep your head on the swivel, man. Stay encouraged, and I'll catch you guys next video. Peace.